get started, I just want to say what up to all the trolls out there.
Shout out to our Reddit friends.
Yeah, and
I was not expecting this.
Some of our friends tell us about it, and they've
It's pretty impressive.
Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I am Jen and this is Fundie Fridays, and here on my channel I talk about different aspects of Christian fundamentalism, American conservative politics, pop culture, all the important things in life. Now that that's out of the way, I would just love to talk to you today about a longtime blight on this channel, Brittany Dawn. But first, I would like to tell you about some merch that I just made, because I have been dying to show you. This is the new logo shirt that I just made, and it's got a little church. It says Fundie Fridays, Blessed be the Genonites. I really craving a religious symbolism. I feel like we've been missing that for a while. There is pink and purple little like diamond stars on there, and I think those will look good on the black background. But we also have it in purple and pink, and we have it in long sleeve, which goes up to a 5X now. The regular shirt only goes up to a 4. I don't control the sizes. If it was up to me, they'd go up to like 10X or whatever, but they don't, and I'm sorry. That is that logo, and that's just regular merch. I get the money. But I did make a new abortion fundraiser shirt. So this one is called Hot Toddy, and it is a picture of Todd Aiken, who famously said the legitimate rape quote. So since he hates abortion so much and he is now dead, I put him on a t-shirt. And it is a little like kind of hard to make out who he is, which is only going to work in my favor because I'm not trying to get sued. I thought this was hilarious, and I came up with it as I was watching James's episode, but I wanted to wait until I had a episode to advertise it on, give it the proper attention. But all the proceeds of this shirt go to the National Network of Abortion Funds, and the last shirt I did, the Dunking Darling, it was also a fundraiser, but since I wanted to delineate the money to different organizations, I went ahead and took the profits and then I would split them up. This time I have it set up with Bonfire to just directly give them the money, so I'm not even touching it or messing with it. So that makes me feel better. The National Network of Abortion Funds, and I just love it. I'm gonna order one after this video, and I'll be able to wear them for you in real life, but I don't have it ordered right now. But this one comes as a regular shirt, a hoodie, and a long sleeve. I'm gonna mess with this one and the other one and put it on some other stuff, but right now I just have the shirt set up. I have all of the prices of these shirts as low as it will like let me take it. Hopefully that will pass on some savings to you, but definitely looks really good. I think it looks great as red. Definitely like a flaming hot Cheeto vibe. So those are the new shirts, and remember I also have the Lesbian Socialist Republic poster, which comes framed, and then this is the one that Bonfire designed, and they did a really good job, and I call it the magical tee because it's got like heart stars, unicorns, everything that Lucky Charms has. This for the regular Fundie Fridays logo my friend Emily made. I also have that as a crop top now. As I was like, I know a few of you have just straight up cut the bottom of the shirts off to make a crop top, so I thought I would help you out there. Of course, Limp Bizkit University, one of my favorite all-time inside jokes of this whole channel. I gotta work on some more Limp Bizkit stuff, I guess, because some people were saying they didn't like wearing it because it had a red hat, and they were like, what if I look MAGA? But I guess that's just the risk you take. Sister Cindy says something along the lines of, God loves you, but not in a gay way, or she loves gay people, not in a gay way. It's been so long, but anyway, I stand by my statement here.
And I love all gay people, just not in a gay way.
Thank you.
Hello?
Sister Cindy really said no homo.
So, do you love the Genonites in a gay way?
I love them in an exclusively gay way. This one is making fun of Girl Defined, and it is the overweight, sexually broken loser t-shirt, and it looks bad on purpose. So if you were wondering, I made it like that unreadable freaking cursive font, and it is hard to read. I have it in light pink. I think it looks good. One of the oldest pieces of merch is Idle Hands of the Devils. Fleshlights, James came up with that. People love it. Thank you, Michelle. Hardly anybody's bought that one. I wonder why. But that's making fun of Girl Define talking about Michelle Duggar, because the Fundie cinematic universe is a vast, expansive web of shame.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Michelle.
Fungi Fridays, I just thought that was super cute, so I had to make it. I love mushrooms. And then my love language is picnics, which is a quote from, I think, Plath's 1 or 2. That's what's going on the Fundy Fridays store if you don't have any merch. And I am working with Sophie on another poster, but it's a poster talking about deconstruction, and I think that it's gonna be one of the best things that we've ever made. But anyway, let's get to the real meat and potatoes of this episode. Today we are talking about the world's greatest Christian scammer since Jim Baker, and that would be Brittany Dawn Nelson. And I have previously made a video about her. I highly recommend it. As a matter of fact, when I was doing research for this episode, I found like a master post on Reddit, and they linked to my video, and they said it's like a documentary and it's really comprehensive and funny, and I was like, oh my god. So anyway, if you would like more information about Brittany Dawn, watch my video called Brittany Dawn, because I talk about a lot of stuff in more detail than I'm going to talk about today, and I'm sorry, man. Go watch it! I think it is sponsored. Yeah, it's sponsored by Hunt a Killer. It's not like they get money from that. I got money from it, and I spent it on weed. Just kidding. I bought a car. Today I am going to be updating you guys on what's going on with Brittany Dawn. Since the last video, she was sued by the state of Texas for her scams, and we're going to look at a few of her newest videos and TikToks, because there's always a gold mine there. Second of all, Brittany Dawn has blocked me on Instagram, which is like, oh my god, she noticed me! So that's cool, but I do have a catfish account, and if you think you know what it is, like if you see me pilfering around, no you don't. Don't ruin this for me, okay? I need to keep my catfish account so that I can stock fundies, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to look at Brittany Dawn or Girl Defined or Mrs. Midwest or any of those people. So I'm in, bitch. I've been playing a lot of Skyrim, and so I'm like, oh, my lock picking skill is really high. Anyway, the reason why people don't like Brittany Dawn is because she has just been like fake since day one, and in all genres, because she's had many different personalities over the years, and even when she was just a fitness influencer, she was super obnoxious and edited her things and just lived this unattainable lifestyle. And then she made this program, not a course, not unlike Bethy, and a bunch of women signed up. They gave her money, and they were supposed to get these custom weight loss programs made by Brittany, and they all got the same cookie cutter one, and they made a Facebook group where all the victims of the scam came together to, you know, talk about what had happened. And Brittany would block people, threaten them, all these different things. There was people, I doubt there was anyone who got a full refund. I remember that it was just a lot of sketchiness with that.
Yeah, Cleo Green's here with us in studio. The state says she scammed her clients out of thousands of bucks, Cleo.
Yeah, we're talking about Brittany Dawn Davis, and if you don't know her, she is a big-time social media influencer here in North Texas. She's got about 1 million followers on TikTok, 250,000 YouTube subscribers. This is something from her YouTube page, and nearly 500,000 on her Instagram page. So she's well known, and she's known for sharing fitness and wellness tips. But here's how she got in some hot water. She was charging her followers for those wellness plans, and while some of her followers said they never heard from her, that is one of many complaints from her followers. We'll bring up this video here. Now, here's the deal. These complaints dating back to 2014, well, the social media influencer, she is fully aware of what's going on. She publicly apologized for this, but just last week, the Texas Attorney General's office finally filed a Deceptive Trade Practices Act lawsuit against Davis, claiming she never provided any of the personal coaching. Now, the AG's office is asking for anything between $250,000 to $1 million in damages. Now, we spoke to a woman named in that suit who claims she was scammed, and it really set her back emotionally.
She made it sound so easy. It's like, just reach out. I want to help all of you. It set me back. It actually pushed me back into my eating disorder.
Now, we attempted to contact Brittany several times, and she did not give us any sort of comment or reply to us. By the way, she has shifted to all Christian content now.
And then she apologized, and then she took it down, and she was like drying a fucking barrel full of zippers while she was apologizing.
There's some things on the surface that have come to surface, that have come to fruition, that need to be addressed. And so I'm here to do that, and I'm here to put everything to rest once and for all. I am just here with my heart on my sleeve, and I'm here to put everything, like I said, to rest once and for all. I apologize to anyone who feels like they got scammed from me.
And she took that down. Then she got sued. She doesn't really have much else going on for her. She really seems like one of those people that would bully me and people that look like me in high school. I just get that vibe. She keeps saying that she's a soon-to-be foster parent, and I don't know in what capacity she would mean that. And it's also very telling, because you know she's the type that would force her religion on the kids, and she probably would not be very pro reunification. It's just a vibe I get. So maybe I should shut up about that. But I feel like it's not irrational to say that I think she would be a terrible foster parent. I think she would try to do it for clout. I think she would post pictures and videos of the children. I think that she would withhold things from them. I think that she would not be patient with them or trauma informed, because everything's got to be picture perfect for her. And I know that she would have to take classes and do all these things, but that doesn't always mean that people are gonna do what they're supposed to. I do have the world's tiniest amount of experience with the foster system in the US. My best friend in high school was in foster care, and so I hung out with her, stayed the night with her constantly. I really am talking out of my ass. I'm not trying to say that like I know anything because of that. I'm just saying, like, I have seen religious foster parents not do things for the sake of the kids, but do them for their own selfish reasons. And I just feel like she would do that, and I don't think it's wrong to say that. Her thing right now is she does these She Lives Freed, which sounds like she works smart retreats, and more than a couple, several journalists went to the last one and talked about it, and we can read those articles. But once she got canceled for scamming people, she got off the internet for a while, and then she came back as a born-again Christian, and she veered really hard into like alt-right conspiracy theories and conservative beliefs that, you know, it's quite possible that she probably always had conservative beliefs, but now she's like talking about Joe Biden's gender wars and shit like that is unreasonable. So
I love that this is a trend right now, so you know I'm gonna hop on it. 6 things as a Christian, as a now Christian, saved by the grace of God and delivered of 12 demons, that I will never do. Number 1, I will not watch or entertain the thought of horror movies of any kind. This goes for crime and murder mysteries as well, which I know is hard because I used to watch them all the time too. Have you ever had nightmares after watching one of these? You're naturally inclined to, because you're opening up doors for demons to enter in. Number 2, I will not participate in any way, shape, or form in anything New Age related. Tarot cards, mediums, manifestations, higher self, channeling, any of that, enneagrams, horoscopes. If you do not believe there's not a spirit attached to these, you're wrong. Number 3, I will not partake in sexual sin or sexual perversion of any kind. When I was dating, that meant no sexual sin in general. Now that we're married, that means no lust, no porn, or anything that goes outside of the scope of how God intended marriage to be. These demons will try to control you. They will try to convince you that you're out there living your best life, but in fact you're not. You're living in bondage. Number 4, I will not just let anyone lay hands on me. Now, I know this sounds crazy in the grand scheme of things, but when you let someone lay hands on you, you are spiritually submitting to them and letting them impart what they have onto you. If you know their walk with the Lord, if you know their doctrine, you know their sound, then yes. But if you don't know who they are and they're asking to lay hands on you, proceed with caution. Number 5, I won't hold on to unforgiveness. This probably doesn't sound like anything in the physical world, but in the spiritual world, demons cling to this. The more you hold on to unforgiveness in your heart, the stronger of a grip demons get. And the last one, number 6. This one's gonna ruffle some feathers, but it's the truth. I will not practice yoga. Yoga is rooted in Hinduism. You cannot practice yoga, which is practicing another religion, without offending God and opening the door for demons to enter in. That's just the reality of it. Let me know in the comments if you want me to make part 2.
Her husband got fired from the Kansas City Police Department for beating an innocent man, and then he shot her dog because it was hit by a car, and instead of taking it to the vet or doing whatever, he literally just took care of it himself in the street in the middle of the daylight. So
He was still breathing. And poor Jordan, like, he had to rush me inside while the other 2 men watched and made sure no one else came. And once I was inside, like, all I heard, I knew what was about to happen. And Jordan, like, all I heard was this truck rev its engine so loud from the bedroom I could hear it. And I know that's when the gunshot went off, and poor Jordan had to do that for Brody so that he wouldn't suffer. And there was no saving him.
okay, so what have we not discussed? I guess her birthday is March 22nd, 1991, which means we would have been in high school together, which is another reason why I feel like I can talk down to her. I have no problem bitching out a white Christian woman. Come on. I am not afraid of you. So anyway, if nobody else will say it, Brittany Dawn is a horrible person. So any of the text here in purple is from this master post from user chicken_Gary from Reddit. I thought I would, I figured I was going to have it on the screen, so I would show you. With her scam that she did with the fitness plans, she was apparently saying that it could be used to help people with eating disorders, and she even used a hashtag on one of the advertisements for it that was ED Soldier. In the same breath that she did that hashtag, she was making a post about this woman that she was supposed to be helping, and she said, hashtag skip dinner, wake up thinner. First of all, how dare you? And second of all, how fucking stupid are you to not even realize what hashtags you're using? You know what it reminds me of? This, like, oh, my scam will help you lose 8 inches on your waist. It'll help cure your eating disorder. It'll make your hair grow longer and you'll be more beautiful. It reminds me of, like, SpongeBob when they're trying to sell the chocolate and they're just saying anything that they think the customer wants to hear. You'll live forever!
I remember when they first invented chocolate. I always hated it. Oh, but this chocolate's not for eating.
You rub it on your skin, and it makes you live forever. No.
Live forever, you say? I'll take one.
But yes, so that's obviously not a good idea to go on a fitness influencer crash diet if you're struggling with disordered eating, and you especially. Thousands of people joined her program and she made money off of it because she took the money up front. And then when they all got the same bullshit responses, or no responses in some people's cases, they started talking about it on Facebook, and they have raised a complaint. So here is the lawsuit, the state of Texas, the Attorney General, versus Brittany Dawn Davis and Brittany Dawn Fitness. So here is the just regular PDF of the lawsuit, and this was only filed earlier this year. Okay, so this is from Fundie Snark Uncensored, not our Brittany Dawn Snark, but both of those are good subs. So this is basically what is the plain text of what it says. So I'm going to read this to you now. So, factual allegations. Beginning in 2014, defendants profited from the sale of online fitness packages to thousands of consumers with the promise of personalized nutritional guidance and individualized fitness coaching. Specifically, the defendants' online fitness packages offered macro nutritional assessments and, depending on the plan purchased, daily or weekly email training and one-on-one coaching. Defendants' online nutrition and fitness packages ranged from $92 for a one-time macro consultation to $300 for 3 months of personalized macros, trainings, and coaching. However, the online nutrition and fitness plans delivered to consumers were not individualized. Defendants also failed to provide the promised coaching and check-ins. Defendants largely ignored consumer complaints, or if they did respond, offered only partial refunds. In 2019, consumers' complaints on social media garnered media attention, prompting Defendant Davis to make a video apology posted to YouTube. Defendants promptly took the website down. Defendant Brittany Dawn Davis is an internet influencer and the CEO and face of Brittany Dawn Fitness. Influencers are individuals with large followings on social media, and internet influencers' following is typically in distinct niche such as lifestyle, fashion, beauty, or physical fitness. Ms. Davis posted photos of herself in fitness clothing and posted exercise tips, information about nutrition, and body positive inspirational quotes on her Instagram, Facebook, etc. The redacted website offered personalized online fitness plans that contained a nutrition component based upon personalized macronutrients, an exercise component, and one-on-one coaching. The offered plans included the 30-day individualized macros and training and the 90-day individualized macros and training. Regardless of which nutrition or fitness plan was purchased, an essential component of almost every sale on the website was the individualized coaching offered by Defendant Davis. The website identified Ms. Davis as the individual providing the coaching and support. She was described as your coach, your confidant, your biggest supporter, and friend. They're to push you, mold you, and help you find the perfect that you've always wanted to become. The website instructed consumers purchasing a fitness plan to fill out the following survey so we can personalize your macros to your goals and needs. And Ms. Davis's first email to a purchasing consumer after the survey was completed stated, "This is just your starting point, and I will be making adjustments as needed throughout the next 4 or 12 weeks with me." According to Ms. Davis, the macronutrients for each consumer were customized at the very beginning of the plan based on several factors: height, weight, goals, etc. People were receiving generic check-ins or no check-ins at all. And people were starting to say that these plans didn't take into account people's schedules and different things like that. This is the part that will harm people. Defendant Davis posted videos on YouTube explaining that she overcame her eating disorder through exercise and healthy eating. In the same social media post, she then offered links to her fitness and nutrition plans. Consumers inferred from defendant's videos and links to her website that she had special training to address eating disorders. One consumer noted that the main reason I chose Ms. Davis out of all the coaches out there was specifically advertised herself as an eating disorder soldier. It was incredibly important to me that the person I chose to coach me had an idea of what it was like to deal with an eating disorder. Prior to reaching out to her for guidance, I had battled with anorexia at my worst. Mrs. Davis denies that she accepted consumers with eating disorders. However, consumer documents tell a different story. At least 14 consumers who sought refunds from defendants mentioned eating disorders in their complaints. One consumer on her initial survey states, "I truly need guidance, help, the right information, and support right now. I currently have an eating disorder, horrible body images." Ms. Davis' response was, "Great. Welcome to the hashtag Team Brittany Dawn family." Defendants proceeded to provide cardio exercises and low-calorie macronutrient suggestions that would only be suitable for someone who needed to lose weight, not put it back on. Making it worse and telling them the exact thing that they don't need to be hearing. Apparently, she also charged consumers a shipping fee, even though it was a digital product. So this is kind of the conclusion. This is what they would want to do if she was guilty. So Brittany Dawn would not be allowed to offer or sell any nutrition or fitness plans that include personalized nutrition assessments as part of the plan, unless defendants will be providing personalized nutrition assessments based on the information provided. Offering or selling any nutrition or fitness plans that include individual one-on-one coaching of any frequency as part of the plan, unless the defendants will actually be doing that. No offering or selling nutrition or fitness plans that include personalized workout routines. Yeah, pretty much all of these are like, hey, you remember that thing you did? You're not allowed to do it again. Letter G here. She is not to be representing that defendant Brittany Dawn Davis has any special knowledge of training to address eating disorders when she does not. No charging a shipping fee for goods or services delivered by mail. Plaintiff further requests that this court award money damages and restitution of monies paid by consumers. So she has to give the money back. Plaintiff further requests that defendants be ordered to pay the state of Texas civil penalties up to $10,000 per each violation. Plaintiff further prays for the court to order an equitable lien and conservative trust on all of defendants' assets, personal property, and real property, and grant the state an interest in said assets. That's crazy. Who knows how that's going to work out? So the sun is setting, so I had to turn on my light. Nobody freak out. So Brittany Dawn, she had like a tanning company that didn't work out. I think it was not even a company. I think it was like tanning, like lotion.
I feel really vulnerable showing up on camera like this, but this is what my chest looks like without what I'm about to show you guys. So my self-tanning line, which I told you guys I have the formula for, I also worked on a body tan gel, and this is the formula for it. I've been testing it. And the reason why I'm so excited about this is because it's something that I use on a day-to-day basis. So in the summertime, when I wear shirts like this or little dresses that expose my chest, I use this body tan gel. And I just kind of rub it in like this, like I'm doing now. So I'm trying to work on a little bit more of like a waterproof body tan gel. I don't know, I just think it'd be really neat to be able to say like you can go swimming with it and it still stays intact. This is not a plug. This is literally just me sharing something that I've always had as an insecurity, and I wanted to talk to you guys about it.
She had like a quotes page she was trying to make into a business, and then she started selling Adobe Lightroom presets, which is like, it's like trying to sell an Instagram filter. Like that's basically what it is. You would download a filter to put on your own pictures, and that was like $12 each. But her new thing is she doesn't even have the foster kids yet to exploit, and she's already trying to make a clothing company for babies. I know she had said something about having a miscarriage, Brittany Dawn did. And I don't think she's lying or anything, but I really think she is directing this infertility trauma or whatever she's going through. I think she's misdirecting that and is definitely going to take it out on an innocent child. Let me see if there's any recent videos she's made that we can react to. Oh god, this one's good.
I haven't looked at it yet, so.
How did you get over / not be jealous of your husband's previous porn use?
That's good. So I kind of briefly talked on this on my story last night, all of 15 seconds.
I love when Fundies tell on themselves. Like, nobody asked.
It wouldn't be fair for me to hold him to a standard, because I've also watched porn. If I hadn't, I still think it ties into what I'm gonna say. I still had a past. Scratch the porn, like scratch any of that, I still had a past of sexual sin. And so it wouldn't be fair for me to hold him to this standard that I'm also not able to reach.
That's an interesting answer.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Can I answer
Would you
this
spell
one?
marriage wrong?
Yeah. Remember that sex
Marriage. Marriage.
is okay after marriage. Ooh.
Yeah.
Can I answer this
Yes.
one? Yes. Growing up in the church.
He was just so filled with lust. He just had to retrain his brain from all those virginal years. Hi guys, ignore my comfy levels here. I'm editing, but I couldn't find this clip when I was recording, but I found it now. And this is Brittany Dawn and her husband talking about their boundaries with opposite sex friends now that they're married, and like they can't ride in cars with them or have like private text messages. And I think Shrek said it best. I think he's compensating for something.
How do you handle outside friendships while being married? Okay, so opposite sex. We have had rules since being married, honestly, since like well before we got married.
Mm-hmm.
We've had rules where, like, because you have opposite sex friends. I've already thought of like 3 they're amazing women. And I have guy friends, kind of. I don't really have guy friends.
Yeah, you do.
I have a few.
Couple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, all your guys at the office, but they're like our family. Yeah. So our rules are we can't be with an opposite sex, like the opposite sex in a vehicle. And now if it's an emergency, that's a different story. Like to make that a regular thing, not okay. Like texting, if you text the opposite sex, like we let each other know.
Or even better, we just, if it's not something, like for instance, let's say I'm going to I need some help pulling off a surprise. Mm-hmm. There's obviously, there's one of like, she has a super specific girlfriend who I will text, and be like, but it's, if you can, in text messages, and it's not like something around a birthday surprise or a party surprise or something like that, include your significant other in the text to that friend.
Group texts
We do that quite a bit,
Yeah.
Just out of respect to one another.
Those are just boundaries that we have set personally. They're personal convictions, nothing more. Like I should spell that word out again because it makes people angry.
She has her own retreats that are very expensive. It's called She Lives Freed. They have, they'll rent out a conference center, maybe not the whole center, like a room in a conference center and, have speeches and stuff. Maybe, she seems like the type that does the music prayer. But if you want to get baptized, you go back to her house, and her sweaty husband will help baptize you whether you want it or not. One correction, it's not a bathtub anymore. It's a trough. So that's better, right? The $650 fee does not include hotel or food. So it's just $650 for her car payment. And like I said, there's been several journalists who went to Brittany Dawn's latest conference. Kelsey Weekman, we love her. She's been writing a lot about fundies and stuff. Here's some pictures. I was thinking it was more secretive. I guess it's more open. But her big thing this year was the you can't cancel me because I'm a Christian. Oh, there she is. Oh, I love that even the balloons are beige. Davis's website called the event a gospel-centered day with other God-fearing women. 10 hours! Within moments of entering, Brianna Marines, one of Davis's volunteers, told me through a smile that she knew I was a journalist and was happy I was there to encounter the Lord. But if I made people uncomfortable, I'd be relegated to the back of the room. In the great tradition of Southern Christian women before me, I warmly thanked her for her generosity in letting me attend an event I bought a $125 ticket for. That's amazing. There was sermons from other... If I say nobodies, does that too mean? They got favors. A bracelet bearing the words "Choose Joy." And then, yep, they do the music prayers, which is a charismatic thing. You see a lot of that in these non-denominational churches. They're the ones that are doing the concerts for Jesus. Okay, they did a lot of laying of hands and prayer. So she got invited to church. And then Brittany Dawn came up to her. I just wanted to make sure you were having a good time, she told me. She knew exactly who I was, even if she had ignored every request for comment I've sent her. I want to go. If they're letting other journalists go, I want to go. Oh no! Brittany Dawn said that 3 years ago on Valentine's Day, I tried to take my own life. That's awful. Through anonymous note cards, I asked Davis to address the reason she never talks about her fitness scandal. That's not who I am anymore. And share her feelings about being canceled online. You cannot cancel what God has called, she said to thunderous applause. I am sure we will never see her tweet that soon. It makes sense that you would not want to talk to people who have paid you for something they saw on social media about another bunch of people who got pretty mad about something they saw on social media and paid you money for. Talking about waiting for sex for your wedding night. Oh. It looks like this time it's not in a bathtub. Okay, I spoke too soon. This is a horse trough. For an influencer wanting to rebrand themselves after a scandal, religious content taps into the good faith of forgiving people and doesn't require years of schooling. Just passion and confident delivery that you have received messages directly from God. One day after the event, Davis declared, "All of hell is shaking right now," in her Instagram recap of She Lives Freed. And who am I to say it's untrue? Beautiful article, Kelsey. Oh, more animal abuse before we get into the AMA. She is a fake horse girl. And I say that with all of the respect in the world for horse girls because they take care of their horses and love them. They're beautiful creatures. They scare the shit out of me. So I have respect for horses and horse people, okay? Because I know that they're big, smart animals, okay? Well, Brittany Dawn had her horse at like a what are they called? An equestrian farm? A horseplex. Where the horse, she had it like, I don't know what it's called, a barn. She had the horse in a barn. And she neglected it and was not paying her fees. But anyway, she tried to leave a bad review on this horseplex saying that her horse was malnourished, and she included pictures of it really skinny. And the owner of the horseplex said, "No, bitch, reverse that. We actually rehabilitated your horse, paid your fees, and got the vet to come out and take care of your horse, which you have neglected." And she has given away animals before, which, you know, controversial as it is, you know, at least the pit bull that she gave away is going to a loving home, whereas the little white dog that she had got hit by a car, and instead of taking it to get medical care or death care, whatever it may be, the husband shot the dog. I remember one time I took like one of my pets to the vet and I had to wait like 2 or 3 hours because the vet was trying to save a dog that had been hit by a car. So they will make time for your dog, okay? I just feel like the husband really likes violence. The next biggest thing that's come out is an AMA from a former friend of Brittany Dawn's that kind of confirmed a lot of things that we were wondering. Let's see. Oh, she was a part of She Lives Freed. They had a falling out. She confirms that the husband was living with her before they were married, which people were seeing like clothes of his in their closet. And, you know, just quit lying. Like, it's okay. If these people would just stop lying, this wouldn't be a problem, because it's okay to live with your boyfriend. And he also was still married when he proposed to Brittany, so never forget. Apparently, Jordan, that's the husband, hates being filmed. I don't really believe that too much, because he also loves attention. The fostering thing is legitimate. She's registered. Have you experienced any proof that she's being dishonest about her religion? She believes in Jesus and that she's saved, but where it gets tricky is how she lives that out. Things like modesty, studying the Bible, and other points she tells others to make all the time, she actually does very little. I don't think she's aware of how obvious it is to others because her closest group doesn't see it. Does she really read this subreddit? I think so. She used to have someone read it for her, but I don't think they do anymore. I don't know if it's someone else doing it for her. I do know that she had tried to shut it down multiple times, but Reddit found nothing wrong with it. That's so funny. That's not how that works. Does she actually have friends? She goes through new relationships over about a 2-year process. Once people see who she is, she kicks them out or they kick her out. All her current friends are through She Lives Freed, but she will say everyone is her best friend, and often others will say they don't feel the same. Is Jordan actually religious? It's mostly for her. I think she asks him to read the Bible with her, not the other way around. How would you describe her and Jordan? Codependent and unhealthy. Has she ever discussed the lawsuit with you or anyone? Or is she choosing to ignore it? She discussed it, but what she said versus what happened were very different stories. She would become defensive if discussed too much. Oh, I just realized my face is probably in the way of all this. Sorry. Jordan does not like She Lives Freed, but she wants him to be with her. I think she's just anxious and wanted her boyfriend to be there, but be honest. How is her immediate family? What she says versus what really happened is so hard to differentiate, but what I understand, they are mostly all tired of her stuff. Also, her dad seems like a bit of an enabler, so he puts up with a bit more. B-Dong's claim is they're all on her sister's side, but B-Dong has forced them to do that. How does the grift end? How do you see this parasocial narrative they have created ending or changing? How do you think the lawsuit will play out? She won't end it unless it's forced to, as in people don't buy or the leaders leave. She Lives Freed had a ton of leaders leave in the first few months because of Brittany's behavior or leadership style, which is why I think this January retreat has been so terribly explained and struggling with ticket sales. Do you have any examples of her poor leadership? She's extremely manipulative and overbearing. She says what she wants, but then gets upset that it's not how she wants it. She is often unwilling to hear other person's point of view. She also wants relationship, but doesn't answer texts or calls for days at a time. This lines up with her inability to produce documents for the court. Okay, so that's what the court thing was. I thought she didn't show up. I guess she didn't produce the right documents. This person said, I see your comment history that you've been on this sub for a while. And she said, I knew her past and I knew about the sub, and even before I started commenting. To be super honest, I was protective of her before my own eyes were opened. She really made it seem like everyone was out to get her and couldn't believe it. By the time I started commenting, I was fully aware of her flaws but wanted to believe changes would come. Sadly, I was wrong. Is she taking the lawsuit seriously? Her claim is maybe she'll just have to pay some money and then it will be all over. I don't think she realizes how much she's going to have to pay or that this could keep her from owning another business. Does she always set her phone up to record everything, even the most mundane tasks? Yes, she really does. Has she ever expressed remorse for the people she hurt with the fitness fraud? What do you think her truth is she can't talk about yet that she alludes to? Please tell us anything you can about her wedding dress. Was it last minute or off the rack? Was it gifted? She tried on some great options and I can't understand why that was the final choice. She kept the wedding dress secret until the wedding so no one saw it. She was trying to do it on a budget, which is why I think it was not as well done, but I think she thought it was better than it was. There is no truth about the fraud stuff. The only thing that did happen is more people than really were frauded tried to cash in on the scam reaction, which is not abnormal. She expresses some remorse, but it's mainly just that she made a mistake and doesn't understand why it's happening to her. Someone said, where does all the She Lives Freed money go? And she said it pays for the event. I guess it's more expensive than they thought. Probably they left the church that I said she goes to, Mercy Culture. I wonder why. So that's the AMA. What else? Oh, she exploited a unhoused man. Basically raised a bunch of money for him. He didn't ask for this. And then she shipped him off to a Christian rehab several states away. And she's like in contact with his family, and it was just very much infantilizing and exploitative, and addiction and poverty are not something that you can just fix with a GoFundMe. I actually don't know how that worked out. It's been like a year or so now. Hopefully he is doing great, but doesn't talk to Brittany. That would be the perfect scenario. I think that's everything. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was very random. I actually wrote this whole thing before I went on vacation, so it was fun to come back and see what I thought was important. Hopefully this was good for you. It just supplement. You need to go watch the original video. The rest of this month, I am gifting to the Jennanites some more highly requested videos. I'm redoing / making a sequel to Paul and Morgan. And that one's later in the month. And then I'm also updating and doing a threequel to Girl Defined soon. And then James has somebody coming up that you will never guess, but it's like so perfect that you're gonna be happy. The thing about Brittany Dawn is I've actually been reached out to by quite a few like podcasts and interviews, people wanting to talk to me about Brittany Dawn, and I always felt like I wasn't worthy, or like I didn't have all the information. I was like, why do you want to talk to me about Brittany Dawn? Because as soon as the video was done, I pretty much quit paying attention to her. Then this lawsuit stuff happens, and I feel like, the lawsuit's interesting, but it's not over yet. Like, I want to talk about it once we know if she's guilty and if she has to give all these people their money back, or, maybe if, once she has children, I could talk about what she's doing wrong or something. I just felt like maybe like my voice wasn't necessary to this conversation. Thank you to everyone who encouraged me to do this episode anyway, because I forget often how good I am. But yes, hopefully this is a non-controversial episode. People enjoy it and they agree with me and they call me pretty and they give me money. That's really what I want. I'm just kidding. I love you guys very, very much. I hope you had a good fall festival, and I hope you're having a good winter festival. I love you guys. Check out the merch. Follow me on social media. We just did a AMA on Patreon, and we stream monthly when we can. And I also give you guys some old ass videos. Yeah, so the Patreon's pretty lit, and it's only $3. I think I'll leave you with this difference. And remember, guys, through Jesus Christ, you too can dye your hair brown.